Morning, everyone. Hope we're well. We've had some serious snow overnight here. So yeah, bit snowed in. We've got a hill going out of our village. I was dropping my little man off this morning and had to seriously give it some oomph in second gear up that hill to get up it. It was a bit touch and go whether we'd make it, but we did. It's always good to kind of open the blind and see some snow in the morning. It certainly mixes it up a little bit from the monotony of lockdown. So today I want to talk about something which really isn't talked about too much in the general public, mainly because it doesn't really make people money. Not having to go at any fads or anything that make people a lot of money that don't really work, but yeah. So this thing is something that we work really hard with our clients on, and especially if they're struggling, especially if they're struggling to find consistency in what they're doing. If they are naturally quite a worrier with the long-term process and things like that, and it's really the starting point when it comes to people's action, and people are so worried about the action point of view, which, don't get me wrong, is really important, but what they need to understand is, or what us as coaches need to understand is, why is that person taking that action? So for example, why has that person for the past 10 years done Slimming World? Why is that person thinking the keto diet is the best thing since sliced bread? Excuse the pun. Why is that person scared of doing weight training? What are the underlying reasons why that happens? And ultimately, their decision making and their actions are a cause from how they perceive something. Okay, so one thing we work really hard with our clients on is perception. So how they perceive everything that goes on with their health and fitness journey, and changing the way they think and approach certain topics and certain things. So for example, certain things that we want their perspective to change on is how they view their results, weekly results, for example. So if the scales don't change, how can we change their perception to make them, for one, not view it as a really, really bad thing and like the world's going to end, and how we can shift their mindset and shift their attention away from them getting too emotionally attached with the weight, and to actually see progress they're making in other areas. And I think this is one massive area, and it's all to do with everyone's psychology. People are so fixed on one thing, being weight, that we forget about the progress we're making in other areas. Stress is down, or you're coping with stress better, you're sleeping loads better, you've got more energy to train. There's so many things with so many of our clients which are improving, but unless that one marker, the scales, unless it moves in the direction they want it to, or at the speed they want it to, nothing else matters. And it's all down to perception, and it's all down to education. So ultimately, how well we can coach someone and work on changing their perspective on certain topics, ultimately decides then their decision making from that, and the actions that they're going to take. So the action obviously is caused by the decisions they make. The decisions is caused by how they view a certain topic. And I can't tell you guys how important this is, that if you are struggling at the minute, and if you're struggling to hold down a health and fitness regime, or if you're on something that you just keep yo-yoing with and going around in circles with, you need to start changing your perspective and changing your direction with where you're headed. Okay, because the likelihood is that that's not going to be the way forward for you. Okay, so one thing we ask our clients to be when they come with us is open-minded, and to accept everything and to accept change and trying new things. And that goes for how they view certain things, and it's really hard to change how you view certain topics, and seeing it from a different a direction, or from another person's point of view. But I guarantee you, if you're struggling, it's the best thing you can do. Be open-minded, have a different perspective on something, because that different perspective will ultimately change your decision making, hopefully for the better. And therefore, if you're making better decisions, then you're being more time efficient. Your action is a lot more directed, and working. It's going to work towards more where you want to get. Okay, so that's just kind of our approach and what we work on in the background with our clients. So all the cherry on the top stuff like nutritional programs, exercise programs, all that sort of cherry on the top stuff doesn't matter unless we're working hard with the clients on changing their perspective on certain topics, and working with them to get them so that long term they can view things in a better way, which is going to help their decision making in the long term. So give it a go and let us know how it goes. And yeah, it's just an insight into what we do with our clients. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.